Hello everyone, my name's Nigel Welton, welcoming you back to the lounge in another video. Today I'd like to be talking about the IWC Jubilee Collection for their 150 years of IWC, and this was released at SIHH 2018, which is now over. So let's get into that, but before we do, I'd like to say stick around to the last bit of this video because I've got an important announcement that I think will appeal to many of you guys out there. And I also would like to mention that everything that I talk about in this video will be linked down in the description below. It is all straight from IWC's official website, so you'll find that down in the description. At SIHH 2018, IWC came out with 27 new models for their Jubilee collection, which consist of some very cool pieces, and I'd like to just read out all of them to you quickly. The 27 comes from different variations and colors, case materials, etc. from these watches, but I'm going to just read out the collections and which complications they are. So first there is the IWC tribute to Pallweber, then we have the Portuguese ER constant force tourbillon, Portuguese ER perpetual calendar tourbillon, Portuguese ER perpetual calendar, Portuguese ER chronograph, Portuguese ER hand wound 8 days. And then moving on to the Portofinos, we have the Portofino hand wound moon phase, Portofino chronograph, Portofino automatic, and then Da Vinci's we have the automatic moon phase, automatic edition, and that's it for the Da Vinci's. Moving on to Pilot's watches, we have the Pilot's watch annual calendar, Pilot's watch big date, and Pilot's watch chronograph. So all of these are the 150th anniversary editions, and they come, as I said, in different dial configurations and case materials, making a total of 27 new watches from IWC at SIHH this year. Now, there are three that I think are probably the most important pieces, so let's get into those, and I will explain a little bit more in detail about each of these watches. First of all, and I think the most interesting piece to me, is the tribute to Pallweber. Now, this watch is a beautiful piece with lacquered dials. Now, pre-SIHH, they did release some information on the red gold case with white dial configuration of this, but at SIHH, they released two dial configurations as well as a pocket watch version, which is really cool because it is the first pocket watch that IWC has made in the 21st century, and it is a tribute to some of the earliest pocket watches that they made. Now, what makes this watch so interesting is it's the new 94-200 caliber made by IWC, which has jumping hours as well as jumping minutes. So you can see that it almost looks like a digital display. Now, there are a few configurations of this piece. Platinum with white dial, which is limited to 25 pieces. Red gold with white dial, which is limited to 250 pieces. And then stainless steel with a blue dial, which is limited to 500 pieces. Now, the platinum with white dial is $57,800 US. The red gold with white dial is $36,600 US. And stainless steel with blue dial is $23,100. And I think that honestly that is a fairly reasonable price, considering you're getting something that is so limited as well as so mechanically complicated, which makes it a beautiful piece to have. My second favorite, and it is a very close second, is the Portuguese ER constant force tourbillon edition for the 150-year anniversary. And this piece is extremely cool to me because it's got a very high complication called a constant force tourbillon, and that ensures that the accuracy of the watch is kept longer than a traditional watch with even just a normal tourbillon or without a tourbillon at all. So what IWC does with this is it actually ends up looking like a jumping second, which it is at heart, just because of the nature of a constant force tourbillon, and I will link down below to IWC's video explaining their constant force tourbillon, but it is a complication that makes a watch very practical in that it ensures the accuracy. Now, very notably about this watch, it has a 96-hour power reserve, which is extremely high. It is a hand-winding piece, and it has 41 joules in the new, not new, but very beautifully designed 94-805 caliber by IWC. So this watch is definitely very, very nice, and it comes in a platinum case with either white or blue dial with classic Portuguese design. So that is definitely one to look out for in boutiques, and complications such as a constant force tourbillon is absolutely amazing, and it is really, really cool once you see that jumping seconds that you usually do not get in most watches. Finally, out of all of IWC's releases this year at SIHH, I am absolutely in love with the Big Pilot's watch big date edition. Now, this piece has a large date aperture at 12 o'clock, as well as classic Big Pilot's design with the seconds register down at the bottom at 6 o'clock, and classic design elements that are usually seen in the Big Pilot. Now, this piece is very amazing because it takes, as I said, the classic design elements of the Big Pilot, making it extremely legible, adding a big date window, which makes the date also extremely legible. This watch at heart is just classic IWC, and that's one of the things that I love about it so much. So those were my top 3 watches from IWC's Jubilee Collection this year at SIHH 2018. Finally, in this video, I'd like to mention that you guys should go over and check out the article that I link in the description down below. Essentially, I'm going to be starting a mechanical watch crash course for people that are not exactly well versed in the world of mechanical watches yet. In that article, I kind of explain the reason why I'm doing this, and I think that you guys should give that a read and definitely wait for the videos to be coming out, because I think that even the people that are most experienced with watches may learn something new from this series as it progresses and as I get into talking about higher complications and things like that. Now, what I'll be doing is starting with the very basics of even questions like what is a mechanical watch, and then covering things all the way up to high complications that some people that are more experienced and well versed in this world will know about, but will also be able to get some knowledge from. So please stay tuned for that. Also, if you could go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel here, as well as checking out my Instagram, that would mean a lot, because the support is always appreciated. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. I've been Nigel Welton for Horo Lounge.